want some freedom?
From Kingston to Negril, people say so. We tired, we hungry, we
Big up yourself, freedom.
We no want no speech.
You find me, you find the freedom.
We want action, no, not the lies.
Freedom share up the life for me here.
Hurricane,
Everybody share up the life for me.
Prime Minister fly gone foreign. Your JLP cabinet full and the people copy them thing. Oh, you live so large and we living so scanty. Not with fists, not
Like
with
and
fire,
share,
but with
guys,
voice.
let's go.
Them rising higher and higher. From every parish, every yard, every gate. Jamaica speaking and I'm not too late. Time to go, people. We said no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know, hear us. We are not by the door. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Oh, yes, our time to go. This one is for every Jamaican. What can't afford feet? We are sleep on cardboard. We are drive on broken road. The people don't forget. People don't forgive. Enough is enough. Jamaicans will live.
Alright, pleasant good night everybody. Once again. The other day, yesterday, I went over the TCN situation, but I didn't even know that it came on the news. So we're gonna start off with that, with the gentleman that is in Eswatini. I put out a video, a reaction to it from Mr. Will Rattigan show. That's when I saw it. I didn't see it on TBJ first, but it actually came out 2 days ago. So check this out.
Introducing Clip B. Whatever you can picture, you can generate. Want something wild like a man pulls his laptop and transforms into Iron Man? I mean, forget even watching it.
Where are the Jamaican authorities? The question being asked by the attorney representing a Jamaican pastor who was recently deported to Eswatini by the United States. And even as 64-year-old Junior Alves waits for what's next, he does not want to return to Jamaica. Deidre Thomas reports.
For many, a journey to a new country represents hope, opportunity, or a fresh beginning. But for 64-year-old Jamaican national pastor Junior Alves, it has been marked by uncertainty, fear, and unanswered questions. He was among 11 people deported by the United States to Eswatini on July 8, 2026.
Starting out from the get-go, I was wrongfully picked up because of what has been going on with ICE and picking up people. I think I was wrongfully picked up in the crowd.
It was only after that process was underway, he says he learned his destination was a Southern African nation.
I began to question, like I said, a question, and then somebody said, the officer turned to me and said, I'm sorry to say, but I think they're going to take you to a country. I don't know where they're going to take you, but I think you're getting deported. I said, stop playing me, man. Stop playing me, please, stop playing me. So they said, no, I'm serious. However, you can talk to an ICE officer. Lo and behold, I seen an ICE officer say, you're going to Africa. I said, Africa? Wow. How on earth do you want to send me to a place where I got my family in Fort Lauderdale, my 7 kids and my wife. They are going through so much already. My daughter is talking about committing suicide.
We spoke with Mr. Alves while
No, that part I didn't know from last night. All right, so he got 7 kids. That's a lot. I saw his 2 daughters up there. I didn't know he has so many kids, right? So a man of his age, and he's the breadwinner for his family. Like literally. Literally the breadwinner for his family. How devastating you think that is for them. Guys, please like and share this live. This TCN deal, really and truly, I'm telling you, man. It's unraveling in the worst way.
And have you heard any information as to how long you will be there?
No, I've heard nothing at all. I can't say I'm comfortable, which is that I'm lying. I can't say I'm feeling not. It's so much going on right now. Every day, every morning is a different challenge.
Mr. Alves had been residing in the U.S. for over 4 decades. He told TVJ News he had been allowed to stay in the U.S. by a judge under the United Nations Convention Against Torture, CAT, in 2016. CAT is a binding international human rights treaty that prohibits torture, cruel, or degrading treatment in all circumstances. This treaty prevents individuals from being deported to a country they're likely to face torture. As part of that protection, he was required to report to U.S. immigration authorities annually.
I want to be with my family in the U.S. where I belong. They are suffering. I was a breadwinner as a father. My wife is sickly. Her mom just passed. It's so much she are going through. I told the judge, America would be safer for me than to go anywhere else in this world.
According to his wife, Joan Alves, he had documents before a judge when he was picked up and detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement in January 2026.
He had a pending habeas corpus on a judge's desk. With the habeas corpus, after 180 days, the judge has to question ICE to find out what's going on. So the habeas corpus was open on a judge's desk, and ICE just automatically transferred him out of the country.
Wilfred Rattigan is legal advisor representing Mr. Alves.
Your client, he would have said that he had fears of being in Jamaica at the time. Did he ever tell you why was that so?
No, and I'd rather not delve into that, except to say that he had legal status in the United States, and that we are puzzled as to why he was stopped and detained.
Mr. Rattigan further argues that his client does not fit the profile of migrants the Trump administration said it was targeting for removal.
The question is, was he ever arrested for any crime of moral turpitude, they would say, since he acquired legal status? And the answer, to the best of my knowledge, is no.
And while the transfer has drawn public attention, the legal advisor says his client is still waiting for contact from Jamaican officials. He's demanding answers from the government before the week ends.
Mr. Alves has not renounced his Jamaican citizenship, even though he has legal status in the United States, which means the government is obligated to pay a consular visit to him. And here it is that so far he has not heard from them directly, and of course he hasn't seen anyone. And this is a legal requirement. So we're still waiting he's still waiting, and they have their offices in Pretoria, which is next door.
Deidre Thomas, TVJ News.
So it is a legal requirement for the government to visit this man where he's at in the foreign country. And I am not sure. I mean, up until last night, because I just want to be accurate, up until last night when Mr. Rattigan had done the video on his platform and interviewed him, there had been no visit from the Jamaican government. None of their representatives in Pretoria had visited him. But they say they choose Jamaica, the government, this government. They choose Jamaica but not Jamaicans. Pretoria, if you look on the map, because I did a video on my TikTok, you guys can go look at it. And you see the map on top of, in front of my face. For the most part, you could see Pretoria, how close it was to where the man was located. Freedom says, you just popped up on my TV screen. My daughter put it on. She knows who I watch. Shout out to your daughter. That's what's up. Salute to her. You know what I mean? But wait a minute. It says here, oh, I was just wondering, because I was trying to make you a moderator, Freedom. Freedom is one of my honorable members, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all can go check her out on YouTube, Freedom Project JA. Alright, you can check her out. And for those on TikTok, remember the link to my page is in my bio, my YouTube page. All of my people that catch me on TikTok, if it's your first time, follow me on TikTok and make sure you sub up to my YouTube page. Alright, I nearly didn't go live on TikTok. I'm asking you guys to let me feel like you guys want me on TikTok. Because if you don't make me feel like you don't want me on TikTok, I'm not going to stay up on TikTok. It's no sense I have the numbers, but nobody is tapping up the screen. And gifting is another thing, but at least tap up the screen, man. At least. Anastasia, how you doing? at least tap up the screen, guys. Just double tap up the screen for me. It helps the videos to go out. And for persons on YouTube, it's the same thing. Once you're on your phone, not on your TV. For those watching me on the TV, you have to go look for the like button. But if you're watching me on your phone, on YouTube, all you have to do is do this twice in the middle of the screen. Just double tap it like that. Double tap it like that. Once you double tap it like that, that's it. And that's how you hit the like button when I'm using this version right here on YouTube. Alright? When I'm using the phone. Alright? And share the live. Good night, user. I don't know if I auditing that. But share the live, ladies and gentlemen, with as much persons as possible. Let's go to the next news that is important. Right here.
What if you could make a song using only your voice? Let's start with the drums.
Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Dwayne Anderson. Jamaicans continue to feel the pinch of rising prices in June as inflation rose by 0.8%. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin says the increase was driven mainly by higher transportation costs following increases in taxi fares. Now, food prices also climbed, with carrots, onions, and sweet peppers among the produce reporting increases. Higher electricity charges and household rental rates also contributed to the rise. Meanwhile, Jamaica's point-to-point inflation rate now stands at 6.7%, led by increases in food, transportation, and housing costs. A new chapter in regional connectivity has taken flight. Jamaica welcomed Leah Air's inaugural flight from Guadeloupe to Montego Bay on Thursday. Adrian Thomas tells us more.
The Caribbean is one of the world's most sought-after tourism destinations, but moving within the region remains one of its biggest challenges. Despite being separated by only a few hours apart, many Caribbean islands remain difficult and expensive to reach. That could be changing. Leah's Air inaugural flight from Guadeloupe to Montego Bay carrying 33 passengers marks a new chapter for regional connectivity.
For too long, traveling between our own islands has often been more difficult than traveling to North America. That has limited trade, investment, and even opportunities for Caribbean families to connect with one another. Today, we begin that change. This route does more than connect Montego Bay to Guadeloupe. It opens Jamaica to the French Caribbean and creates a stronger bridge into the wider European market.
The new service is also being positioned as a bridge connecting Caribbean markets, cultures, and businesses. French Caribbean markets are being highlighted as an important gateway into the wider region, creating opportunities for increased visitor movement and stronger commercial ties.
Regional airlift is not a convenience, it's infrastructure. Every route like this one builds two things at once. Opportunity, because markets, festivals, and new trade become one flight away, and resilience, because a Caribbean that is connected to itself is a Caribbean that can withstand whatever the global economy sends our way.
And while the airline is projecting 12,000 passengers in the first year, this figure is not the ceiling.
While we're starting today with just 2 flights a week, our dream and hope is that it will grow. It will grow to daily flights, it will connect more people, and help the economies of both islands grow. So that is here to work with both islands and all the islands in the region to ensure that there's more connectivity and the economy of the entire Caribbean grows.
Adrian Thomas, TVJ News.
All right, I like that. Let me hear what JPS I say.
Views for Team Swept to win.
Thank you. For JPS says a rare lightning-related fault at its Hunts Babe substation triggered the island-wide power outage on June.
Jamaica, a rare lightning triggered the power outage. A rare lightning, ladies and gentlemen. After all this time, this is what they came in front of us with. A rare lightning. Are you guys buying that? I'm not doubting God, but lightning? The entire island? Lightning. Alright.
5. The utility company says its investigation, supported by internal experts, found that the lightning-induced fault remained on the grid longer than expected. This created instability that caused generators to trip, leading to the nationwide shutdown. Power was fully restored by 6:34 the following day. JPS says it was the first fault of its kind recorded on the transmission system. The company has submitted its 350-page report to the Office of Utilities Regulation and the Ministry of Energy. It says it has already begun strengthening protection systems, reviewing network settings, and working with independent power producers. This is due to the risk of a similar incident This is to reduce, rather, the risk of a similar incident in the future.
Hi, I'm an AI. I can trade for you.
How?
I find the crate, I show you what and why. You say yes or no.
Advertisement enough.
A search for a student who was reportedly swept by the sea of Telfa Beach in Yala St. Thomas resumed this morning and is continuing. The teenager was reported missing on Wednesday after being swept away by strong sea currents. TVJ News understands the boy was among a group of footballers from St. Elizabeth High School. From St. Elizabeth High School, the team was camping in South Haven in Yalas. It was during a trip to the sea sometime between 12 noon and 1 p.m. that tragedy struck. Reports indicate that one of the boys was overcome by a heavy current and pulled under. His name has not yet been released. Persons are now anxiously awaiting the JDF and Marine Police as they continue the search along the Yalas coastline.
Please, people, for those who hear me, I sound like I'm broken record, but I want to pray, ask God for protection. Don't take nothing for granted. The forces of evil is ripe in Jamaica. And I tell you that. Protect on yourself. Protect on yourself.
And the St. Thomas Police Division is reporting a reduction in major crimes so far this year. This is when compared with the same period last year.
But we have a 35% reduction in murders. And the most categories of major crimes are down, and myself was really a part of the police system growing up. And we believe that it remains a very positive and vibrant strategy of the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
Meanwhile, head of the Morant Bay Police Division, DSP Rowan Richie, says the Morant Bay Police Station has achieved ISO certification, bringing its operations in line with internationally recognized standards.
Investigation services, community intervention, reports in terms of police certificates, and emergency response to assignments given to the station, call for service.
Councillor for the Alligator Pond Division, Omar Robinson, is calling for additional police units to patrol the New Forest area. Speaking at Manchester Municipal Corporation monthly meeting recently, Mr. Robinson says thieves have been using the cover of dark to steal goats, leaving livestock farmers in the seaside community broke and worried.
We are advocating for another unit for the Alligator Pond station. And even for Cross Keys, they're having challenges with units coming to support us. You know the situation, because when there is court and that unit is out of the space, we don't know what is being planned for the division. So it would be wise to have at least 2 on the ground for the Alligator Pond station.
And news just in, the search for a student who reportedly swept away by sea off Telfa Beach in Yala St. Thomas has been found. His body has been found. And of course, we will have more on this story in Primetime News at 7.
My God, Lord have mercy. His body has been found? Oh, no. Jesus, please.
Now, food safety checks are intensifying in St. James as health officials strengthen efforts to protect consumers and address community concerns. Councillors are being urged to join the push to tackle the issues. In June, public health inspectors carried out inspections of imported containers carrying meat, fish, and other food products. Inspections increased compared with the previous reporting period, reflecting continued efforts to strengthen food safety and protect public health.
With respect to meat hygiene, animals slaughtered, 680, so that's your porcine, ovine, aka pigs, goat, etc. With respect to poultry, 850. For imported meat, fish, and other foods, 155 containers were inspected this reporting period, an increase from last month's 125.
The Public Health Department says community engagement remains a key priority across the parish.
So AD's index, 12.6. With respect to AD's index, we need to assist with strengthening this index. We can do this by strengthened community participation. Each person needs to play their role. Everyone in here has a role to play. Increase public education on proper water storage, solid waste management, and household source reduction practices. Greater collaboration with community groups, and of course, continued engagement of householders to encourage personal responsibility.
Public health officials are urging stronger collaboration among community leaders, health teams, and residents as efforts continue to address environmental health concerns across St. James.
Community engagement and environmental health interventions. Community meetings were held at the Barretown Health Center in July and at the United Full Gospel Church also in July. These meetings were led by intern public health inspectors in collaboration with St. James Public Health Services and aimed at engaging residents in identifying priority environmental health issues and developing community-based interventions to address the concerns identified.
I'm done. You hear?
I am done with the advertisement. I'm going to tell you, boy, you're done. You hear me? All this dramaticness.
We now take a break. More stories when we return.
I mean?
That is funny, honey. That's funny. Oh my God, that is funny.
Anywho. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the platform. It's your brother Bolo here now in this space again. This one, I am probing a part of Mr. Isat Buchanan's live stream. Honestly, this is my raw reaction. I haven't heard it. I haven't heard more than 30 seconds, but it so happened that I caught a timeline that piqued my interest, and here we are. So, let's get into this right here. And this is a hot topic. You know what I mean? Shout out to Isat Buchanan.
Taking away access to cut off the livelihood of citizens. We think it's okay because it's politically convenient to paint narratives. I was today years old when I wake up and hear that PNP not united.
What?
Yeah? Because some big wagga smarty we own a radio station can just put out anything in the media and say allegedly.
He needs some milk.
Yeah? Because some big wagga smarty we own a radio station can just put out anything in the media and say allegedly. And say can hear that PNP not you. I was today years old when I wake up and hear that PNP not united. Yeah? Because some big wagga smarty we own a radio station can just.
That is funny, honey. That's funny.
Yo.
Oh my God, that is funny.
Island girl, how you doing, man? Yo, listen. What is going on right now? Isat Buchanan now play, bro. What is going on, man? Yo, listen to this. This have me away.
That PNP not you. Convenient to paint narratives. I was today years old when I wake up and hear that PNP not united. Yeah? Because some big wagga smarty we own a radio station can just put out anything in the media and say allegedly and say sources say and the backstory and news tells me and our sources. And you know on a source, you know, you barely have your light bill barely paid, and if you don't get your little period check, you know on a source, but so
emotional damage.
And our sources, and you know on a source, you know, you barely have your light bill barely paid, and if you don't get your little period check, you know on a source, but sources tell you
I'm dead.
And you is not. And I want, say I want real reporter in Jamaica. One real investigative journalist in the whole of Jamaica. And you don't want to investigate, because you got shame. Big up Zara Burton. But you guys 80 degrees north.
Wow. Reporters on the field. The professionals. Because we just vloggers over here, you know what I'm saying? I don't do no investigative journalism. I'm just independent media. This is my thoughts and my opinions based off what goes on in the news. I'm a reaction channel. How y'all feeling out there, man? All of you in Oceanwide, how you feeling? You guys are no real investigative journalists. Yeah, we calling you out. Yes, Lord. Hallelujah. On the field. How you feeling?
Investigative journalists in the whole of Jamaica. And you don't want to investigate, because you got shame. Big up Zara Burton. But think 80 degrees north or 98 degrees south or 32. But Mr. M no put it in question them on TikTok. So I one of them. But Zara Burton, she had a real investigative journalism. You see when she start investigating, she said, Jamaica, sources tell us that the member of parliament uses crest. So I don't know on what basis did he get a Colgate endorsement, because it's crest in use. And I know because I went into the garbage pan myself and I took the box out and the very receipt, and I went up to the supermarket and up.
Yo, what is going on right now, man? Listen, I did not listen to this. The only thing I heard the man said was, I woke up, I was today years old when I heard the PNP was not united. And I said, wait a minute, I need to hear what's going on with this. Talk to us. Because this is news to Isat that the PNP is not united. You understand? Let's continue.
St. Andrew, it's an endorsement because it's crest in use. And I know because I went into the garbage pan myself and I took the box out and the very receipt, and I went up to the supermarket in Upper.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
Yo, I know he's exaggerating, but she went into the garbage bin herself.
St. Andrew. And I trailed him through the aisles and I saw when he lifted the crest off the shelf. Thereafter, he exited in his Range Rover 2029 that was custom built from the corruption money. And it was there we realized that when we turned down the degrees, we found out that they cannot account for the things that is going on. I then went into the room and I ascertained that the information coming to me from my sources, and let me give you the backstory. That is Zara, don't make her investigate it. But anyway, when you start to think about all that is happening, we can't let the politics deny access to good sense. We must train our citizens to think about the future of our children, access to opportunity, and say whether or not when them get up in the morning, then get for drink little tea. Little tea, you know.
All right, mama. What's
just
up, Colin?
tea. For bust the gas, Cersei tea. Because if you don't bust the gas, you're going to need Vicks. Because if you have gas in your elbow, Granny say rub some Vicks on it. If you have gas in your hip, rub some bits on it. But you see, if you drink the tea in the morning, you won't have gas. Right? So, moving on now. This is why it is so important to start to think about education, right? And how important it is. Hold on. Enough things are going on as me I talk to you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this is why it is so important to stop and think
hilarious, man.
that we must not be deceived by coordinated attacks in the media, by wrong narratives that takes us away from the real issues that we have to deal with in our lives.
Bingo. That's why I'm not too dwell upon certain things, you know. Yeah, I cover the story, but me try to get back to what is the core, you know, real issues. The TCN deal, the fact that the education system is terrible, the healthcare system needs to be taken a total reform, especially places like UHWI. The education, the Ministry of Labor needs to be looked at significantly. The finance ministry needs real intelligent overhaul and personnel. You know, even Nestor Morgan ministry, like they look at the roads. You know, if you are a plumber and your job is to make sure that, you know, the pipes, the water is not leaking and the person is not paying an extra water bill, and when you look, the water is not coming through in the pipes, then you understand, and your bill is so high, you know, you have to look upon the person that is the person that, you know, you give the job to and say, so wait a minute, look at the conditions of the road, Nestor. What's happening? And people will say, well, it's not that simple now, is it? Because then there's a budget and it's intertwined. So it goes all the way back up to the Prime Minister, period. And the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister, usually in any government system like this, they work hand in hand to make sure that things are managed in such a way that, you know, you can see results and growth at the same time. But unfortunately, you know, the propaganda machinery of the Jamaica Labour Party, famous radio station, their job is to move away from the real issues and talk foolishness and put out rumors about this and the other thing. Yeah, like,
in Jamaica, we must therefore stop and say, what are we doing to advance the people of Jamaica? So questions came up, and again, because I'm going to respectfully say the journalism is complex. That's the word I'm going to use. It doesn't make things clear. So things put out and media houses apologizing for inaccurate information. Where does the truth lie in all of that? Yeah? When people just put your name on lists and just make you one of the 12 disciples and Jesus dead more than 2 years ago. 2,000 years ago. One has to wonder. And it is okay for them to do because it muddies the water. So people don't have to be accountable for the nastiness them doing to the Jamaican. So as a Jamaican, here's what I'm going to say to you. When something come out in the media, stop and ask yourself, how does that make my life better? So when some untrained media personnel says, sources tell me, you barely have no resources and you just get up and say, sources tell me, and you just put out to the whole of the Jamaican people, emotional damage. What can go so? It is media personnel says, sources tell me. You barely have no resources and you just get up and say, sources tell me, and you just put out to the whole of the Jamaican people something that don't go so. What can go so? It is unfair to the public that you put them into a 9-day cycle and distract them from the issues that affect their lives. So here are the issues that affect your life. Were you able to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner without having to go and look the money to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Are you still a day-to-day hunter for your meal? Are you in the process of transcending Maslow's laws of hierarchy, the first tier, your physical needs? Is your food, clothes, and shelter being accessed with ease? Are you and your family okay? Are you finding your way as somebody who might have missed the education train, but you have some bright picnic? Because you did bright, but government failed you back in the day, so you never get access to the education. And your mother and father, they love Valentine's Day. So every December, every November, a brother and sister drop. So by the time you became 13, you were taking care of your brothers and sisters, so you might have missed school to make sure that they make it in life. And somewhere there was disconnect with family values. But you always was bright, so when you had your kids, you make sure that although you sell in the market, or although you is a farmer, or although you have a day's work, your people them did have to go to school. Them did have to get an education, because them bright, because you did bright. Some of the intellect and intelligence is the genetic transference, People are genetically predisposed to either be bright or dunce. Intellect can come from nature, and nurture may be just surface. So we have to know that to the chief musicians, a Psalm of David, there is a God factor, and who your parents are. Them not have to be, me not talk about the fake system of society. I'm talking about how you were born, like how when Jesus born, him born in our manger and our stable. He never born mangy, but he did born in a manger. And in this still, he was still King of Kings and Lord of Lords and conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. So I know where you come from is where you're going from the genetic makeup of you, so that your lineage means something. And see through them kidnap the whole away and TC and the whole away for make with there. Because for all I know, you don't know if you did come from Ghana or Nigeria. I have an idea still because I'm blessed. But I don't want to sing the song because every day of my life I am blessed. Because you see, when I wake up in the morning or when I lay my head to rest, every day of my life I am blessed. Yes. Big up the author of that song. It was a big song. I still don't like it though. But anyway, let's move from that. I want you to picture something. Somebody said, watch the AC in the bars, get some more natural air. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air right now, because me I tell you, I'm blessed at someone to test. A true one.
Hey, big up Isaac, yeah, man. So Isaac basically are about NNN based off how me I understand that, challenging persons to of the mainstream media to do proper journalism and stop spread propaganda and divert the people from real conversations about things that really matter. Like literally, do you have food in your house for the rest for 2 weeks in case there's an emergency? Not that, what's up, Merle? Not that you would have to. You would be going to get food. Do you have food in your house for 2 weeks? I can tell you, based on what we're hearing, that is not the reality for most, unfortunately. It's really day by day, it's really moment by moment, where people really can't find food to put in their house. Literally, it's just too much. What's up, mama? What's up, baby? It's just too much. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let me go to the next thing. This right here. I gotta go over this. What's up, Nikki? Did they work? Alright, they work. What time now? 11:14. Let me know you're dip in and dip out, man. You're dip in and dip out. Alright, so we're going over to Mystic Sensation on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Remember to go ahead and subscribe. See, General are wearing Brazil attire today. And in Polo, him always go deep into the research, so You say them a liar. No man, Isaac hilarious with you, man. Isaac is easy, I tell you. But big up Mr. Mystic Sensation. The live stream is called empirical evidence. So let's check this out, this portion of it, yeah?
To talk about and bring up the evidence to bear. Right? Let us bring up the evidence to bear. You know that Mystic Sensation, when we deliver with facts. So what I'm going to first deliver, I'm going to deliver Amnesty International speaking about the Pegasus, and we are going to connect Jamaica to the Pegasus.
This is our
Here is the
important
information by
conversation.
Jamaican people. Here is the document, and I bring it up wide for you to hear it. This is Amnesty International. Amnesty International, right? And here they are saying
people don't know what Pegasus is, you know.
Global democracy under cyber attack.
Listen to this.
This is what Amnesty is saying. Global democracy under cyber attack. Now let us get into what they are saying. And this January 7, 2022, here's the date. Poland, coming from Poland. Use of Pegasus spyware to hack politicians highlights threat to civil society. Confirming that Amnesty International has independently confirmed that Pegasus spyware was used to hack Polish Senator Krzysztof Bezra when he was running the opposition's 2019 parliamentary election campaign.
Wow.
Amnesty International Poland Director Anna Blazak said, these findings are shocking, but not surprising. There is serious concern not only for politicians, but for the whole Poland civil society in general, particularly given the context.
So you see this Pegasus thing, ladies and gentlemen, I want to not take it lightly, we don't listen to this.
General, chance, but for the whole Poland civil society in general, particularly given the context of the government's record of persistently subverting human rights and the rule of law. Activists and protesters have been targeted through criminal investigation, undermining the rights to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly. Meanwhile, judges and prosecutors who raise concern over the lack of independence of the judiciary face disciplinary and even criminal investigations. Despite media reports that the Israel government, I want for you to hear this, open quote, despite media reports that the Israel government stopped export of the NSO software to a group of countries, including Poland, this does not seem to have affected existing license and the use of Pegasus in Poland. These revelations demonstrate yet again why there is an urgent need for a commitment from government to stop any form of surveillance that breaches human rights, and the need for a global moratorium on the export, sale, transfer, and use of surveillance equipment until a robust human rights compliant regulatory framework is in place.
Which one?
So I'm telling you the concern that Amnesty International has. Jamaica, we are indeed in trouble. Somebody did Mystic Sensation prove. You don't prove that Jamaica involved. You know that this is Mystic Sensation. Well, that is Portland and Pegasus using Portland. So a Mystic Sensation is going on. Now, let us get into the nitty-gritty. Right? Now, here it is, Jamaica. Jamaica connection with the Pegasus. I'm going to show you this. Let me share it. So I do a research. Does Jamaica have any connection with the Pegasus? And the research, Google search engine said, yes, Jamaica has significant connections to Israeli surveillance and cybersecurity technology. Jamaica The research that I have done is Jamaica has any connection with the Pegasus? The answer that Google search engine brought forward, and not only that they brought forward it, they direct me to the specific website that we are going to go to.
Very interesting.
Yes, Jamaica has significant connections to Israeli surveillance and cybersecurity.
Very
technology.
interesting.
Though the government denies specifically using the Pegasus, here are the key facts regarding this connection. Cybersecurity contracts. Many people don't know about this. Many Jamaican people didn't know about this. The Jamaican government awarded a $4 billion contract to Elta System. And I linked the Elta System with the Pegasus, an Israeli defense and cybersecurity company for surveillance and digital security technology.
Hey!
Official denials. Despite public concern raised by political opposition, Jamaica officials have maintained that there is no official cooperation agreement with the NCO group, the maker of Pegasus. And that surveillance tools are not used to spy on law-abiding citizens. Again, that's a lie. Intelligence packs. Jamaica has established deeper intelligence sharing arrangement with Israel. Let us take this away. So, Mystic Sensation did not leave it there. Mystic Sensation did not leave it there. Mystic Sensation wanted more evidence. Mystic Sensation wanted more concrete evidence. So look what Mystic Sensation had. We are going to show you.
Yeah, me just watch this.
So I go to the finance accusers, Israel Black Corps, of meddling in election. Jamaica, you know what I realize? When I make a search, I realize an information that I had brought forward some time ago. They wiped the internet. They wiped the information from that internet. And I said, oh, you're not going to more than me this morning. I am going, you understand, and do more deep dive to show my people, right? And we see where you wipe the internet from that information, because you know that Mystic Sensation is digging, and you know that I am going to come with this. So what did I do? Let me show you how Mystic Sensation, right, is effectively doing its research. So what Mystic Sensation did? The capabilities of Pegasus technology in Jamaica. Let us get there. Show you what Mystic Sensation had done.
Wow, this is.
So we did for deeper dive. Jamaica, I want you to listen to this. Listen to this, Jamaica.
A cybersecurity update from the French government, which is concerned about election interference online. The French Prime Minister on Thursday convened political leaders and reported on the threat in the presence of the head of France's disinformation detection service, who said that officials suspect an Israeli firm called Black Corps of being behind a smear campaign ahead of France's municipal elections in March.
Vigilant investigations have made it possible to geolocate the foreign operator behind this malicious activity, a purported Israeli company known as Black Corps.
Buchanan, France's Office for Vigilance and Protection Against Foreign Digital Interference, presented a detailed report on Black Corps' alleged actions around the world.
The modus operandi wasn't limited to France's municipal elections. It also appears to have been used for foreign digital interference in other countries or regions, such as Angola, Togo, the elections in Scotland, and New York's 2025 municipal election.
The French Prime Minister said Paris had asked Israel for explanations on Black Corps' actions and also for help in trying to find out who may have been behind the smear campaign.
Wait, how?
So when you hear the men and women that got come out and telling you what happened at the election, and that some higher thing go on, and steal the election that go on there, just understand the power of this technology and the digital implications, right? And it's not gonna be so far-fetched for you to see how it could manifest easily. Chrissy D. Bell, big up. You see me, so this is somewhere, mighty God.
3 days for something thorough.
Diana.
Once the authorities realized this interference from Israeli soil, specifically Israeli soil, occurred during the municipal election, it goes without saying that we did indeed ask for an explanation and assistance. It could be a private group in Israel.
The news agency Reuters reported last month that French authorities suspected Black Corps was behind an online smear campaign targeting 3 candidates for mayor from the far-left pro-Palestine France Unbowed party in March's municipal.
So, what they're saying, what I'm getting to understand from this is, individuals that are pro-Palestine, it appears as if Israel is interfering in the election using Pegasus. That's what I'm understanding from it. So, say for instance, there's, I don't know, individuals in Jamaica in the government that is not pro-Israel, and they have interest in Israel. What would they do to make sure that the people that are pro-Israel, like the Prime Minister of Jamaica, will visit them? No other Prime Minister no go visit Israel. Want to remember that visit? What would they do, ladies and gentlemen? Remember that the People's National Party said that they were disappointed in the Jamaican government for not standing for human rights when they went to the UN. So they know the position of the People's National Party. So if Israel have any interest in Jamaica, they wouldn't be interested in the People's National Party getting into power. Hello, somebody. And this is just a thought, you know. Because if companies in Israel are doing this in major countries, hello, think about it. The puzzles, the pieces, how it comes together, it's not that far-fetched. Just saying. Let's continue.
Vote. Before scrubbing its presence online following Reuters inquiries, Black Corps described itself as an elite-influenced cyber and technology company built for the modern era of information warfare.
All right, let us take this away. Jamaica, let me say this, that of course the Black Corps Israelite people are in the EOJ, Electoral Office of Jamaica.
Yes, that is true. It's an Israeli company that got the contract. Oh, don't remember that. You guys don't remember that it's an Israeli company that got the contract. You guys remember the prophecy from Pastor Peter Chambers? You got to get the EOJ from out of the office of the Prime Minister, or the PMP will not be able to win a free and fair elections. Oh, don't remember that prophecy there? Pastor Peter Chambers came out and told us indirectly, God was telling us indirectly, so they want to go thief the election in Jamaica. You don't remember? Let's see if we can find him phone still. But let's continue.
I want Jamaica to realize what is happening. They are here in Jamaica, active to ensure that democratic socialism being defeated.
Yes.
And should not surface.
Yes.
It is their mission.
Because democratic socialism goes against the Israelis. And the People's National Party is for democratic socialism. Hello? Think. And this enough it don't slavery right then come in the comment section. The one them I don't. Oh, all we talk about the propaganda. It is not illegal to think. Everything on the talk about propaganda, it is not illegal to think. Think. It's not illegal yet.
They are here in Jamaica. And they need to leave our land space and stop interfere. So what Mystic Sensation did? Mystic Sensation did not only take that, even on that we are coming down with the chronological sequence. Mystic Sensation want to know more. I want to know who created it. How it was created. And I want to know their active involvement of the damage and the impact that they have done. And I deep dive. And my Jamaican people, I have the bombshell.
Drop the bomb,
that the Israeli brigadier officer in Israel created it.
Israeli brigadier officer?
And many governments, dictatorship government,
for just 60 seconds.
What can go so? Emotional damage.
Seek him. And you are going to hear what he has to say, confirming to all of us. Jamaica, this is not something that we are making. That yes, he's going to confirm to all of us, I'm going to make you see it. I'm going to make you hear it for yourself.
Yes.
He's going to confirm that yes, I have created the Pegasus. And the purpose of the Pegasus is to defeat persons in election. It was the reason why it was created. These are the people that Andrew Wallace had given $4 billion of our Jamaican dollars
Wow.
to these people. To do what?
Wow.
To manipulate our election.
Wow.
Andrew Wallace used taxpayers' money
Wow.
to do this. Jamaica, listen to the evidence.
Wow.
Here is the evidence.
Wow. It's all coming together, mate. It's all coming together. Woo-wee.
So,
shout out to Mystic, man.
I try to connect,
Wow.
right? To prove that we are not joking, we are not lying when we say we found the evidence. Jamaica's digital entanglement with Israeli intelligence operations. Andrew Wallace, seek them for him to stay in power because he believes he can continue to obstruct the Integrity Commission investigators.
No, so my mother don't listen
and
to
he
this.
can prevent
Should I tell him about it?
him from going to prison. So if he stays in power, he can control, he can manipulate. My
mother a part of my research team, you know. Main source of my research team. Mother will listen to something and say, but Bolo, you don't hear this yet. You need to go check out this, you know. You need to do a reaction to this, you know. You need to highlight this, you know. Yeah, man. But no, so my mother don't hear this yet.
Listen to us. Jamaica digital entanglement with Israeli intelligence operations. Montego Bay, Jamaica, July 6, 2025. Jamaica has significantly deepened its cybersecurity partnership with Israel throughout 2024 and 2025 and the marking of the general election, marked by a $4 billion Jamaican dollars EICA system contract. This is what the mark of the beast has done. High-level diplomatic visits and ongoing surveillance technology cooperation that has drawn sharp opposition criticism and regional diplomatic consequences. The digital entanglement reflects a broader pattern of Israel surveillance technology deployment across the Caribbean, with documented pioneer operations in Trinidad and Tobago, raising serious questions about democratic oversight and human rights protections. I found them. The partnership represents far more than routine cybersecurity cooperation. They include intelligence sharing arrangements that have strained Jamaica's relationship with the United States, prompted sustained opposition criticism about surveillance overreach, and forced Jamaica to navigate complex diplomatic tensions that ultimately led to its recognition of Palestine in April 2024 under regional pressure. Jamaicans don't aware of this, what is taking place with Andrew Wallace. You understand? The start of evil that Andrew Wallace brought down on the country. Recent cybersecurity developments reveal expanded Israeli presence. They are in Jamaica. Minister Joel Vaz, November 2024 delegation to Israel, mark a significant escalation in Jamaica-Israel cybersecurity cooperation. The high-level joint delegation with the Ministry of National Security, including Colonel Godfrey Sterling, head of Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team, and senior policy directors for cyber intelligence. The delegation conducted working visit to Israel's cyber capital, Beersheba, and met with Israeli energy and cyber officials to explore bilateral collaboration and opportunities. Mighty goodness of God. The visit followed disclosure of a 5-year, $4 billion contract with Isat System Limited, a subsidiary of Israel Aerospace Industry specializing in defense electronics and cyber defense solutions. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang confirmed the contract aimed to arm critical Jamaican institutions against cyber attack through constant monitoring system and vulnerability and teeth election. And so then, why Andrew Holness seek Israel for the Elita system? Why? Elita system won 15 Israel defense prizes and has over 50 years of experience in electromagnetic sensors and cyber defense, making it significant player in Israeli military-industrial complex. Jamaica is simultaneously establishing a cyber academy using equipment from multiple countries, including Israel, Canada, the United States, Australia, and France. The academy operates under the Caribbean Institute of Cyber Science, established under the Caribbean Military Academy, Jamaica Defense Force, indicating the militarization of Jamaica's cybersecurity infrastructure. And this is where we see that Andrew Holness is using all the military persons and put them into position. Because, of course, they can invade people's privacy. And as you see now, they can manipulate the result of the election. But this is not the big thing.
Jamaica, I remember when Andrew did say people are being trapped. You remember that? You remember when him said, because you see, when you're drunk with power, you know, you blur out things, so you know if you blur it out. Because Andrew Holness is a prideful man, you know. Him like, you know, you can see him, you know. Stiff-necked, you know the stiff-necked fool them my Bible talk about? Yeah, man. Pride cometh before the fall. They're being tracked. And then Dana Morris Dixon said, nobody's being tracked. No, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Like penguins of Madagascar. Why? Mystic Sensation said that's another big thing. Let me hear him say, mighty God.
Jamaica, this is not a big thing. I'm going to show you the big thing to me. You think this is the big thing? Now, Jamaica, do you believe that this is the big thing? That's why I leave the big thing for last. So I track down, right, to connect the dots. The man himself who built the Pegasus and tell us what is the purpose of the Pegasus. Jamaica, I wanted to share the live, share it out.
This is what, hey,
Andrew Holness is walking around.
Sabotage the live election. Them a type of conversation.
Clear evidence. Now let us find this. What's this by Jamaican people? Look where I'm going.
Like and share up the live, guys.
Israeli firm boasted of meddling in more than 30 elections worldwide.
What can go so?
No, Byron, me sorry say me never have some tea for sip to. Because this one hotter than 10 fireside. Israeli firm boasted of meddling in more than 30 elections worldwide. Them boast about it. So they not hide. Some of them want nobody come talk about conspiracy when we tell us the man and thief the election last year. We don't want to hear about no conspiracy. Everybody know say Andrew Holness linked with Israel are the first prime minister to go down on his knees both in Ghana, Israel, go and talk to Israel and how them have private conversation about security and they were very vague about the details of the conversation. Andrew Holness, nobody else, and we don't know the position of the People's National Party already when it comes to democratic socialism. Yes? So that not tying with freedom thing. So if them have interest, if Ima Andrew in attacks, it is in Israel's best interest to have Andrew Holness as the Prime Minister of Jamaica and not the People's National Party. Hello, somebody. A simple logic, you know? Simple logic.
Let me breathe down a bit because I'm belching this out to my Jamaican people. So I found the person who created Pegasus and why the Pegasus was created. The functionality of Pegasus, the motive of Pegasus was to change election results. Here's the evidence. This is not coming from Mystic Sensation. This is not coming from Melting Pot. This is not coming from a Wayne Loan Zone. not coming from a Ratigan, not coming from Andre Stevenson or any other vloggers. It's just that the evidence we established to show the connections. And the money being paid to Israel to F up our general election. The Israelites who are in our country interfering in our space, robbing us of our sovereignty. Here it is, people. Israeli firm boasted of meddling in more than 30 elections worldwide. So now they are bragging. They are saying, yes, we finally have a software to keep Benjamin Netanyahu in power. And not only that, we can meddle in other countries' political order. We can choose which political leader we want to be elected to keep them in power, to make us bargain as it relates to crony capitalism and to give crony capitalism its vibrancy. We can take over because of the effectiveness of this 5 years. And Israeli firms sought to influence more than 30 elections around the world for our clients by hacking, sabotage, and spreading disinformation according to an undercover media investigation published on Wednesday. And so what happened? These people, these investigators went undercover and speak directly to the mark of the beast, the man who created the Pegasus. Now, here he is, my people. Right? Here it is. It adds to a growing body of evidence that shadowy private firms across the world are profiting from invasive hacking tools and the power of social media platforms to manipulate public opinion. See why Andrew want to seek it. See why Andrew want to seek it clearly. The firm was dubbed Team George by investigation journalists who pose as potential clients in order to gather information on its methods and capabilities. I want you to listen. So the investigators disguise themselves, right, under a team, under a firm as Team George to do what? Investigate, right, the methods and capability of Pegasus. Its boss, Tal Anan, this is the man that created Pegasus, is a former Israeli Special Forces operative who boasted of being able to control supposedly secure Telegram accounts and thousands of fake social media profiles, as well as planting news stories, the report saying. The investigation was carried out by a consortium of journalists from 30 outlets, including Guardian in Britain, Le Monde in France, Der Spiegel in Germany, and El País in Spain, under the direction of France-based non-profit Forbidden Stories.
You know, when I hear this, I remember a movie called The Blacklist, and there was a young man in there, and like maybe about 14 or 15 or 17, 16 years old, something like that, Chinese youth, and the star and in partner, in family, you know, they needed to escape the city. And the police was looking for them, the FBI, everybody. So they were putting out stories using the internet to say they were there when they were, and they were in 10 places at one time, so as to divert the police into a certain direction so they could escape the next direction. And when I listen to this, basically, it's a similar method or coding in terms of manipulation, where they can put out stories and have fake accounts, multiple fake accounts, and everything seems real and legit, but all of it is fake, and it just spreads propaganda and it just goes wild. You know what I mean? So let's continue.
The methods and techniques described by Team George raise new challenges for big tech platforms, the Guardian wrote. The evidence of a global private market in disinformation aimed at elections will also ring alarm bells for democracies around the world. People read that? People read that? Let me read about that. Evidence of a global private market in disinformation aim at elections will also ring alarm bells for democracies around the world and to owners pay them $40 billion. And I did not respond to detailed questions, saying only, I deny any wrongdoing. Want to hear it? Fair profiles. The 50-year-old told 3 undercover reporters that his services, often called black ops people, you understand? Black ops in the industry were available to intelligence agencies, political campaigns, and private companies. Want to hear that, people? Want to hear that? We are now involved in one election in Africa. Want to hear that? What can go so? We have a team in Greece and a team in the Emirates. We have completed 33 presidential level campaigns, 27 of which were successful.
Emotional damage.
Jamaica, the man they say them complete 33 presidential level campaign and 27 of them was successful. Can somebody calculate the efficiency rate of that particular success? We know say past 90%. 33, all right, so 33 would be 1% of that would be what? 10% of that would be 3.3 or something. 33, 27, 1% would be 0.3, 0.33. No man, I want good local percentage that man. 27 out of 33, probably about 85%. If my math not off of success rate, that is the what? Damn. Let's continue.
And you're putting in as saying, you're the man of Bronx.
27 out of 33.
33
What's up, Jody? Big up, Jody. 81.8%.
What's up?
So 81.8%. Jody in the chat. Shout out to Jody for that. Yeah, I knew I was off about the 90 because if 0.33% is 1%, all you would have to do is divide 0.33 into 6, and you would get the minus figure of the 100%, and then you would get the amount that it actually is. So 81.8%. I trust Jody's math, ladies and gentlemen, and that is a very high pass mark. Yeah, that's some scary stuff right there. That success rate is ridiculous.
Successful. Most of the campaigns, 2/3 were in Africa, he claimed. While demonstrating his technology to reporters, he appeared to act into, now he might give them live performance in Jamaica. He might talk to them, and tell them, say, listen, me, you believe that, let me show you live performance. You know what this now, people? While demonstrating his technology to reporters, he appeared to act into the Gmail box and Telegram account of political operatives in Kenya. Mighty God of Daniel. Hold on, let me take the car. Yes, Carla, you're Mr. Sensation.
The guy still like couple of
win.
Over the years, if it was
to repeat. We are hearing this.
and to have been done.
Exactly.
We have fought that way.
This is a fundamental wrong that you are doing on Jonas. But it's 10 of our money. Can you cut off the sister now? My bad sister. My apology for that. Just accidental. And take up 40 billion of our money. Why do Jonas need this? When we have healthcare, we want to fix. Right? The education system dilapidated. Right? But you take up $40 billion giving to the Israelites.
Was it 40 billion or 4 billion? He keeps saying 40 billion, but I think it's because he's upset. But I think it's $4 billion. And that's a significant amount of money. Yeah, for this contract. I don't think it's 40 billion.
To continue to keep you right in power. This is a fundamental wrong that you are doing on Jonas. I will found you guilty. Now, here it is. Forbidden stories name the targets. Let me just take this card.
Okay.
Yes. See that?
Right.
Can't manage your call thing. Just want to hear the article. call them take long though. More call come in. Article interested in.
These are the people you saw. These are the people you saw. These are the people in our electoral office. To keep you. So when Desmond Mackenzie run out, and when other people run out and said, 1 p.m. forever, who don't know what we're talking about? 1 p.m. forever, who don't know what we're talking about?
Jamaica, that's why they're so confident. Because I remember even Desmond Mackenzie joking about we might see PMP 2040. Remember when he was talking in the government, in the parliament about the garbage problem, and I don't know, maybe in 2040, the PMP might come into power. They know why they are so confident. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. This has been a long reaction. Shout out to Mystic Sensation. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to the page. Pegasus, ladies and gentlemen. Go do your own research. Screenshot the pages you want to see. Go and do your own research and do your own reading. Read the article for yourself. Understand that the capabilities are there for these people to steal elections, interfere and steal. The only number you need to look upon is the 81% success rate. 33 interfered with, 27-1. Hello, somebody? That is it. Now if we go no further, let me move on. What we are going to I wanted to see hear this interview right here. Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the platform. So now we go to Perry in Christ, a rare sighting of Damian Crawford. I believe they're talking about the situation mainly with the PEP exam. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen.
Tonight, we're going to be having a conversation with MP Damian Crawford regarding what we've been hearing in the political grapevine. MP, Mr. Crawford, how are you, sir?
How are you doing, my brother? All is well?
Yes, man, all is well, man. Thank you for supporting the super chat, Gunners. Yes, Mr. Crawford, the people are here. We are excited to really hear from you. This is really your first interview after we've been hearing certain things in the political space. And we know we're going to be talking about PEP and education, as that is your area of expertise. But the elephant is in the room, Mr. Crawford. The first question I would like to ask, are you aware, and can you confirm or deny? Somebody saying that you're low, maybe, I don't know if you could probably go closer to the mic, I'm not sure.
Check. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing you. I think personally just saying that you're a bit low.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of conversations regarding your ambitions to lead the People's National Party, but more concerning for many, it's been said that there's been conversations about persons making calls on your behalf. Some say caretakers, donors, and delegates representing you to start this campaign for the PNP. Can you confirm or deny or that? What is happening there?
Muscle loss is common after.
Well, big up Perry for going straight to the jugular and getting it out of the way. Excellent Perry in Christ, yes.
Has become the norm for the last 2 years. If you carry your mind back to June, July, August of last year, there was persons, one of which Mama San and others, who were doing the same kind of public assassination of my character.
Whoa, Mama San? Mama San Damian Crawford say I publicly assassinate him character? Oh my God. Lord have mercy. See, this is why, when I hear these stories, I always use the caveat, I say, if there's any truth to these statements, and I give my opinion on it. Because I don't know. I have looked on the source of where it's coming from most of the time, out of ocean-wide and these labor rights. So, yeah, yes. Let's continue.
And it seemed to be a strategy employed to, I guess, dissuade. However, there is no probability of a challenge within the People's National Party in 2026 because the rules indicate that it has to be every other year. So the only time that there can be a challenge would be 2027. And I would not put a party through the rigors of a political campaign for 15, 16 months. So no one heard an announcement from me because there can be no challenge in 2026. However, a Democratic Socialist Party would have within its concept have two things, democracy and socialism as central pillars of the party. And therefore it is the right of anyone who is a member to assess his own capacity to contribute, to assess the conversations he has had with others, and to then see if he believes in his conscience that he can contribute more in a different position, or she can contribute more in a different position. And when that time comes, I'll make that assessment. So as you have seen, I've been quiet, and whatever supporters that I may have, they have generally been quiet as well, because this is a much to do about nothing conversation that initiates every July and August.
So you've mentioned a few things, Mr. Crawford. You mentioned the People's National Party being a democratic one, and I'm sure everybody would agree that you all should have a right, anybody should have a right to throw their hat in the ring. So you've not made it a secret that you hope to one day lead the PNP. But what we do know about aspirations, Mr. Crawford, is that normally when you aspire to lead an organization, there's normally something that you want to change. Do you believe that there's something missing from the leadership of Mark Golding that you may want to do differently?
It would be stupid of me as a member of the inner circle, meaning a member of parliament and a person with access to the ears of Mark Golding, to discuss any shortcomings I perceive outside of a campaign in a public way. So therefore, if it is that there are shortcomings that I perceive, it would be sensible for me, having access to his office and his ears, to indicate that to him. What I do know is that we have lost free elections before. And so
you were getting a call just now. You were getting a call. Go again.
We have lost free elections, and we can't afford to lose the vote. And so the People's National Party must ensure that we assess all realities, all positions, and all individuals, and put our best foot forward. And so that includes the indoor agent and the outdoor agent. That includes the cluster managers. That includes the councillors and the candidates. And it includes the officers. So a party that has lost 3 times must do a full introspection and try to ensure that it don't lose the 4th time. But any shortcomings that exist within the leadership, I have sufficient access to the leadership to feel free to have that conversation with them.
You mentioned putting our best foot forward. We've lost 3 elections, you said. Do you believe that a best foot forward for the PNP could be new leadership, and that being you?
Again, there will be a time for that decision, and that is in 2027. So in 2027, the party constitution has organized for there to be a clear vacancy and for persons that have interest to offer themselves. At that time, all members should assess within their own conscience if they believe that they should offer themselves based on the callings of others and based on the conversations with others and based on the personal perceptions of themselves. So, no, I have not completed that assessment to this point. And I have felt no pressure to complete that assessment to this point. But I have contributed to this party. I have sacrificed consistently for this party. I have led for this party on occasion. And to that extent, I have no intent to kick over the entire bucket of all the things that I have contributed to working towards, and many others have contributed to working towards. And so when the assessment is done, with full respect and with open communication, we don't think that we have to attack the person who we disagree with. We would indicate to the public if we believe that steps are necessary. At this time, there was no need to make that assessment.
Oh, okay. As you've mentioned something about you wouldn't kick over the
cartoons make complex.
What I get from this is that he's not saying that he have no intention of running. He's saying that there's no conversation, there's no challenge. No, it's not in the legal parameters for a challenge. That would be 2027, and whether he or she, whoever they are, should assess whether or not they would want to challenge the situation. That's what I'm hearing. I don't hear anything different from Damian Crawford. He's not denying any having any ambition to you know, to run and become the leader of the party. You see my deal? He's not denying none of that. But big up Damian Crawford up, I still say Marky G said 2030 and beyond. Let's continue.
However, on the Golden kick over the. Okay, as you've mentioned something about you wouldn't kick over the bucket and burn it all down to build it up back again. However, on the ground, Mr. Crawford, we've been hearing so many different persons, some bloggers, some comments on the ground saying that you are a part of a destabilizing process and that other MPs have colluded with you. I don't want to call any name, but there was a certain MP that stepped down recently from a certain position to focus on his constituency. Many are saying that was a coordinated action between you and him to somehow solidify your best foot forward. Is that can you deny that there's no such collusion?
Well, first of all, the logic of the argument seems to be flawed. Stepping down to solidify our position just don't seem to make sense. However, many of the persons I've seen having loud conversations are not in a position to know. They would not be in a position to know. But they make money and they get attention from acting as if they know. But I can tell you of my history in this party. I joined in 2007, the front lines of the party after our election loss. Most people are attracted to a political party on the front line when an election is won. I became the YO president in 2008 and fought tooth and nail to bring the party to power in 2011. I would have marched to Jamaica House at least 2 occasions and led a YO that many would have argued is one of the most efficient and effective YOs in recent memory. I then ran for a seat that was expected to lose, that was East Rural St. Andrew, on the basis that they were coming with young people time, and I was recruited to the electoral numbers as a representation of the young people. I ran in that seat and won that seat at the East Rural St. Andrew, and continued to work in that seat, placed my best foot forward. Had a falling out on this, and if history should be the home of truth, had a falling out on a demonstration against children having education, saying that education and picnic can't vote. These persons are willing to carry their minds back to the realities of what happened. Thereafter, there was a challenge, and in that challenge, I lost the challenge. And despite having lost the challenge, came out and fully campaigned in 2011. Thereafter, I ran for the vice president of the party, won with the most votes, and served the party to its fullest. When the leadership changed and there were calls for a support team for the leader who were overt in support, I offered my position to a 2+2 agreement that we had. I then continued to campaign on behalf of the People's National Party and was a central figure in the campaign in 2020. Notwithstanding having lost, I went back to the Senate, consistently advocated on behalf of the people through the Senate. In fact, would have carried much attention to the People's National Party. Mark Bowling was the leader of the party, and there's none among us who intend to be truthful that can claim that I didn't do all that I could to win the last election.
Yes, go ahead. You made a point. I want to ask, but go ahead, finish up with that.
Right. I mean, many don't know, but I toured over 32 constituencies despite having my own constituency. And not only having my own constituency, knew that if I lost, my career would have been over, and was running in a seat that only won by 122 the election before. Notwithstanding, I made myself available to multiple candidates: Hanover, St. James, Trelawney. The only parish that I didn't walk during the election was St. Elizabeth, and that was because a press conference call on the day, and I was a member of the press conference. Portland, all of those things. So my contribution to the party and dedication. Wait, I forgot. I also resigned my job in 2019 to run in East Portland on the simple basis that many felt I was the best person to put up a fight in East Portland. At that time, we were 11 points behind. I still hold the record for number of votes by a PMP candidate in East Portland today. I still hold the record for number of votes by a PMP candidate in East Rural St. Andrew to today.
You, just you.
man, I reel out the facts them, you know. Remember good.
So, I left
But
my
Mr.
job at the
Crawford,
university. Mhm.
yes, you left. Yeah, we remember you being a lecturer at UWI. Mr. Crawford, some would say that you listing out your achievements and nobody should discredit your achievements. One would say that that sounds like a campaign speech. Are you confirming that you will challenge the leadership of
No,
the PNP?
because I've made no achievement. I've made contributions. I've listed my contribution. I've listed my effort. So to see members of the party find joy in utterances such as among us brings pain to my own heart and my own conscience, because I have sacrificed a lot on behalf of the party and I've contributed.
So who call Damian Crawford mongrel? Sometimes I think we take it too far, guys. Sometimes we take it too far. Really? Somebody call him a mongrel? Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. Nah, I'll have to go back and look at my thing. I don't think I ever disrespected Damian Crawford. I've always made sure I spoke in context, like, yo, if this, if that, you know, I'm going to look at it this way if that happens, and the timing. I remember my conversations. I remember some of this you know, the things that I said when I heard the rumors. You know what I mean? Real talk. But you have some PNP people where as soon as they look like they're red, when I tell them, nah, itch. Them I make you know what time it is. And them I go hard. Doreen. Wow. Damn, I never heard that. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that is, yeah, we go too far sometimes. I never heard that. Damn. A political mongrel? Sheesh. That is, ooh, Lord of mercy.
Beauty a lot to the party. It doesn't cause for you to derive a joy in utterances such as among us brings pain to my own heart and my own conscience, because I have sacrificed a lot on behalf of the party and I've contributed a lot to the party. It doesn't cause for you to deserve anything other than respect. And I believe that I have proven my commitment sufficient to deserve respect.
Oh, so you're saying that you feel, regardless of your ambitions, you believe that you should be shown as a certain level of respect. I think the viewers just really want to know. I mean, it's really up to you if you're comfortable sharing, because you've not denied it. Will you, Mr. Crawford, challenge leadership next year?
I can't say. As I said, it would be foolish to put a party in a campaign for 14 months. It would also be damaging to put the party in a campaign for 14 months. So even if I had made up my mind, I would not communicate at this particular point in time. What I am going to fight for to the end is the right to do so within a democratic party. Okay. And that right exists for any one of us who perceives in their conscience that they can make a contribution at any level.
Okay, Mr. Crawford, I just a few more questions or so when we get to your portfolio. A lot of persons remember you on the campaign being very vocal, platform to platform, a lot of sound bites coming from you. But now you are not the Crawford. Many, and this is what I'm hearing on the ground, you know, as a political commentator. Many are saying that you're quiet now. Is it that because you are otherwise minded? You represented the team last year to debate on social issues. We've been faced with a myriad of different social issues, and persons are saying Crawford is quiet. Is that so, and if so, why?
Well, again, I like to use objective measures. So a person can simply go and search the name Damian Crawford in the YouTube. Let's look at the parliament. While I was a member of the committee, the PAAC, at least 3 viral clips came that benefited the PNP, including the one where I questioned where the money was going for the hurricane relief, including where I questioned the Ministry of Finance, etc. I would have made presentations in Parliament that have been shared all over the internet, not by me, but by others, on gambling, on casinos, on NHT, on the proposal of willing the NHT benefit. Just last week I spoke on Dean Pierce. I don't believe that there are persons, there are not many who have made more contributions in the Parliament. So I'm not sure how they measure going silent. There is absolutely no campaign going on at this particular point in time. And so therefore, my work has been in the parliament, for which I've tried to be studious in executing that. So any Google search would deny the rumor being spread about being silent.
Yeah, well, Mr. Crawford, certainly we appreciate you answering that. Just two more questions. You've made mention of you having the right to.
Yeah, and before I'm going to that, yeah, nobody can deny him right, and we understand the democracy of it all. And I'm happy that Perry got this interview because the conversation needed to be had. And what I'm getting so far, the man not going to tell any of us whether or not he is planning to, or if he is planning. Him just not tell nobody. Him not telling, him not disclosing that. Him not doing none of that. So people can feel how they want to feel. It is what it is. That's how me get. And he might defend him right to actually run if he want to run. However we view it, he might defend him right. Hello somebody? Let's continue.
Aspire, right? You have the right to aspire. Yourself and others, yes. Yourself and others. And a lot of persons would still say that no, you're quiet, but you've answered. You said people have the right to aspire, yourself and others. Do you believe that in the PNP, that right is being taken from you? I'm not talking about us viewers now and comrades on the ground. From the PNP, do you believe that you're somehow being undermined by the leadership of any sort?
I see no basis to conclude that. I see no basis to conclude that. The leadership will make decisions, and the scholarship will either be happy or dissatisfied with those decisions. It is within the authority of the leadership to make those decisions. I am the spokesperson on education. I would have initiated a lawsuit on behalf of the people of Jamaica to challenge the constitutionality of our early childhood education. I would have indicated to the public the misuse of information and data. I would have been at the forefront of proposing solutions after the Hurricane Melissa. So
you have a brilliant idea. Now you just need to...
I definitely appreciate that lawsuit. Somebody needs to take this government to court, man. Lord of mercy. It's criminal what's going on.
Have been at the forefront of proposing solutions after the Hurricane Melissa. So that is a portfolio for which I was granted. And I continue to speak on the portfolio for which I was granted.
Okay, Mr. Crawford, for now, do you support the current leadership of the PNP? This is the last question. Do you support Mark Jefferson Golding?
Well, I hope you get the opportunity to interview the leader.
Oh, certainly. I reached out.
He would indicate my contribution. No less than 9 of the ideas that were exposed in the last budget debate were brainchilds of mine. Brainchildren, I guess, I don't know what the term is.
I saw your text. I was asking
on many occasions. Any observation of parliament that I'm very willing to participate. While any leader remains the leader, they have my full support, as did Portia Simpson, as did Peter Phillips, and as did Mark Bolo. The last opportunity to prove that was in the election, and I fought tooth and nail for him to become the Prime Minister of this country. So therefore, the assessment of yourself and the asking of the collective knowledge of the party to make decisions on who is best or whom are best to lead us forward have nothing to do with support or lack of support, because it is not a negative emotion to a person. As long as he is a leader, he has my support. As long as Angela Brownberg is the chairperson, she has my support. As long as Dayton Campbell is the general secretary, he has my support. No. And if for any reason there's a change in any one of those realities, they too have my support. Joan Gordon Webley would have run against me in his rural sentences in 2011. Yet, I have campaigned with Joan Gordon Webley on 2 occasions when she ran for the PNP, because all members of the PNP have my support.
Mr. Crawford, you've said that the current leadership of the party, they have your support, But in terms of answering whether or not you will challenge the leadership of the PNP, you said you cannot say that right now. What would be, if you should decide to challenge the leadership of the PNP, I'm not sure if you're comfortable to reveal your tactic, but based on the history of a divided PNP, we've seen what leadership challenges do to the PNP, Mr. Crawford. And I think a lot of comrades are saying, why challenge the leadership even next year?
Well, that is one of the greatest joys of a democratic process. In fact, at this point, we have 28,000 delegates. We have about 400,000 supporters. And the democratic process calls for some to agree and to disagree and to decide where the majority falls. And so, therefore, I acknowledge the opinion of all members of the party, all delegates, and all comrades who support the party. I also acknowledge their anxiety. I know, as a matter of fact, that Portia Simpson was challenged in 2008 and won 42 seats, I think in 2008 or 2009, won 42 seats in 2011. Andrew Holness was challenged, I think, in 2014 and won in 2016. So the anecdotal arguments about, it is a disaster, has been proven only when Peter Bunting challenged on the verge of the election, and also the outcome might not have been possible to change. But the outcomes of two public challenges in Jamaica has shown that parties can recover from the democratic process. I believe if there is a challenge for anything, because it can't be reserved only to the leader. What if somebody wants to be a vice president? Is that also too divisive to have a vice president election? What if somebody wants to be a region chair? Is that too divisive to have a region chair election? What if somebody wants to be a replacing candidate? Is that too divisive to seek to be a candidate if a candidate currently exists? And what if somebody wants to be a chairman? Is that too divisive? So a political party who tries to trade in the democratic process cannot be of the opinion that democracy kills it, nor can a socialist party be of the opinion that socialism kills it. So you must be committed to the ideological pillars of the party, which is that all are able to have a say, all are able to hold a position, and we believe in the equal opportunity for all Jamaica. Those two tenets must be at the forefront of the election, of the political party. So if there are some that are sensing anxiety, I can understand those anxieties. If there are some that are saying if there is any feeling of a need for change, that there should be conversations that may prevent a divisive election. If there are some who are saying that if we should have an election, it should not be on the negative of the other, but on the positive of the person you support. Those persons would have been disappointed with the anti-democratic faction who have decided to sully the name of any individual that they perceive to be in support of a democratic process. So I think that if we should have an election, the way in which it is run is going to have much greater impact than the election itself. And if persons determine that they are the people to stop the mongrels and the thing like that.
To stop the who? To stop the who?
The mongrels, it was said. But if persons like those believe that it is in their sole authority to decide on the direction of the party, it would have an issue. But I don't believe that. I would have exposed the virtues of Mark Golding on the platform. And I don't go on platform to speak lies. I believe Mark Golding has great qualities. And those qualities must be considered as to how we move forward.
Yeah, we're going to get to some other matters. Yes. Yeah, no, I understand. I think I've been asking the questions and persons are also having their own comments in the chat. The last question on this I'd like to ask. Mr. Crawford, if you record...
No, Perry, you say last question a couple times, well, General. He more Damian Crawford answer question. It's like Perry now really get the answer where the chat want to get, because if you're looking at the chat, the people, they might go on place, you know. Let's continue.
Recognize that your ambitions may cause a divided PNP. Will you relinquish or step back from those ambitions for the greater good of the party? Or will you push on and say, it's my time now, time come for Crawford?
I am at a confused state as it relates to ambition. If you should go back to 2013, I indicated an ambition to one day lead the party. Did I challenge in 2014? Did I offer myself in 2015? What would have stopped me from offering myself only on ambitions in 2024 or 2023? Instead, I contributed what I could contribute on behalf of the party.
Yo, me not lie. Damian Crawford I give some good answers still. Because he must show you a reference. You understand? I'm sure you say, listen, I having an ambition doesn't mean that it's not something bad. It doesn't mean that make a challenge next year. You understand? It's just, you know, ocean wide and other labor right, them put out this out there for this said reason. You feel me I deal with? Yeah, because them want to divert the conversation from the real conversation them. Like you them in a school now get proper education. Like why isn't there a deeper conversation amongst the labor rights them about that? They don't want to talk about that. You know what I mean?
A personal act I could contribute on behalf of the party. So I'm not going to be fueled by just a personal ambition. I will be fueled by the voice of the people, because what they say is law. And if the average delegate believes that there should be an offering, then that is likely to happen. If the average delegate believes that there should not be an offering, then that is unlikely to happen. So personal ambition can never be the basis of seeking to lead a political movement with over 400,000 supporters. So that is not the basis of my decision making.
Thank you, MP Crawford. So we would like to hear your views on, I'm not sure if you've taken the time out to look at some of these things in any depth, but I would be remiss of me not to ask you.
No, me not gonna go in the rest of that. People wanna go and, you know, watch the full interview with Damian Crawford. That portion is what I'm interested in. The challenge, argument, and him setting, just letting us know where he is at with it. You feel me I deal with. Whoever call him a mongrel, some people are put name in a chat. I never see it, I don't know. So I can't speak on it. Yeah. Yeah, that's sticky. Yeah. I hope I've never disrespected Damian Crawford in being passionate about things that are happening or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, so big up Damian Crawford, big up Marky G. And right now, Tommy see it, whatever is God's agenda for Jamaica, we're gonna see the leader that God wants to be in place by or before 2027. So if I market G, anybody where God said, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Because God have a greater plan for your country. You don't have to take back Jamaica. See me, David? Like, share, and subscribe. Alright. Where are we now? I did that already. Did that. How long have I been on? Okay. I've been on a minute. We have some miscellaneous time. I cover all our major topics that I want to cover. Yeah, make sure you go subscribe to Prayer in Christ, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see, a word and a verse. See if there's any new videos that have been put out. Ooh, here we go. Something new here. I didn't see this one.
I will not be drawn into trying this case in the court of public opinion, but I'll just say, if ever there was an evil report, that report which was carried yesterday is an evil report. It's a patent lie, and it is again another strategy of the enemy to obfuscate and also to paint me and the situation in a bad light, less than favorable light. Friends, we did not ask for any time. If you were to get the transcript, you would see that we are not the one who asked for time. They are the ones who need time. They are in a tizzy, they don't know what to do. But let me say this. I will not be involved in trying the
Construction, big up.
in the court of public opinion. So I just simply shared a little with you.
Hi, Veronica.
To let you know that I don't have time to waste. But if ever there is an evil report, that which was carried in the paper yesterday is an evil report. You don't have to take my word for it. The Lord also led me to talk about discernment. Woman of God, you got it? She's going to put it on there. And I highlighted it before I left the sanctuary yesterday. Yes? Before I left the sanctuary. The Lord also instructed me to write discernment, that you need discernment. If ever a time you need discernment, what they're trying to do is to discredit the prophetic voice. Yes, to discredit the prophetic voice, to cause persons to be distracted and not pay attention.
You know, me feel, me not so connected, but me feel like me there on the same, me there in the frequency because me a listen. I remember, if it's not today, it was yesterday, I said to you guys, Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth, Mark Stewart, Pastor Peter Chambers and others, do not let anybody, big up yourself, Kian, do not let anybody deter you from listening to the message of the men and women of God. Whoever, I don't care. Do not let it is detrimental to you if you allow that to happen. It is for your own good to listen to these men and women of God. Read the Bible, do all the way you can do, get in tune. We are going on a serious time in our country right now. Don't let nobody tell you about this a man, a pastor, and that. No listen to them. Me no business who it is. I do not care. This is some unsolicited advice, ladies and gentlemen, from you, my viewers, me and you. Do not listen to nobody. You see the men and women of God, them always get attacked. Always get attacked. You see, we have to, as the man said, discernment, we have to look upon the message. Look upon the word and see if it coincides with it. Look upon the realities of what going on around us. This man talk about security forces, you know. I know enough people now listening and I share up on my platform and I say, yo, brother, the man they on point, you know. You don't see what going on with the security forces them. You don't see people are dead in an accident, them are dead in an accident and all type of nothing to them. RIP this up, RIP this up. And that is just a tip of the iceberg. The man want them and say, yo, security forces, you need to pray, you need to fast, him see, gotta show him, and I tell them to warn them to protect themselves from what is coming. And other pastors come up, Pastor Ocean, big up Pastor Ocean, may they have to repost in video the other day to remind people about the security forces thing again. The vision where the man get, the man them have gathering, them have all type of thing where them are going on with Jamaica. You understand? So when pastor says that he not have no time for them and no back and forth for defend himself, he just go and do God work and go through because persecution is a must. God will be his defender. You feel what I deal with? But me I tell Uno, do not be deceived, ladies and gentlemen. Only need to listen to this man I got here. I'm going to tell you that. Do not be deceived. Don't make nobody deter you from listening to this man I got. And others. Do not do it. Do not do it to yourself. You'll be doing yourself a disservice. A word and a verse on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. You can go and scroll back and listen to some of the prophetic word about the date and time and then track back what go on after the man said and release certain prophetic word What did I say to you guys the other yesterday too? When I said to you yesterday, I say, yo, I am watching the FLA because of what him say about the FLA. This month, July, the man really put date on things, you know. The man say he might decree and declare a shift and a change in the name of Jesus Christ. He make a declaration for change. Carla E. Banks, what's up? For a change in the FLA. Where the people that don't want to resign, they will be removed before the end of July. And it will cause a catalyst, a catalytic, a domino effect on the Ministry of National Security. And I'm waiting, I'm looking for it. Looking for the signs, looking for the story to break before the end of July. Because this man don't really put, when I see him put and decrease something with the date, it's serious. When I hear him get a prophetic word with the year, it's serious. When I hear him say by or before 2027, that means it can happen this year or it can happen next year, where we will see a new leader, a righteous leader in this country for the very first time in our entire history. Those prophetic utterances may continue to share and repeat. When you look out for it, when you hear the man say you're going to see politicians and people higher ups in handcuffs, forced resignation, screws are being tightened. Jamaica, you just go and make sure you're in the right alignment and go and look out on the everybody. Yeah? Remember me telling you that. And when you go up on the road, make sure you're covered under the blood of Jesus Christ. Because the energy, the dark forces is all around. If it's snatch with people life on the road, you know so much accident are going on the road, yo. You know so much woman and people them are fine. You know, find people buried this up, put this up. You know not look on the news. If you don't read all the star, you know much things coming out star when the two coming out green and them something there. Certain incidents and unalivings and them things that were going on. All the thing are going on in Jamaica, you know. And then you have the underground flag of them where the things them where them talk about not coming out the news. And everything coming out the news, you know. We just want to know that. But it happened. There's a wonderful lady on this app. One lavish from England. I don't know if she'll watch me right now. Elder. And her people was gunned down in a community about a month ago. I don't hear nothing about it in the news. Gunman gunned him down. Our grandson, our great grandson. There's a lot going on. There's other incidents that happen with our police. A man was dead. And he not coming at the news. He not coming at the news, Jamaica. Quiet as kept. If you don't know, you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. It don't come in at the news. It don't make mainstream media. Everything does not come in the news. But a man like all of Mr. Wayne Lonesome now, we have, you know, the Eagle and people everywhere, and, you know, the news come in, and when you feel like talk about certain things, if relevant in conversation, and you want to have, or the point where you want to make, you know, that happens. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the country, a lot of incidents that don't come on the news. So, we have to protect yourself. Well, we are trying to figure it out, but make a real effort, now tell them. Make a real effort, Jamaica, for no one salvation. Things get very, very serious.
To what God is saying, coming from this platform, that is the form. victory. The Lord also instructed me to write discernment, that you need discernment. If ever a time you need discernment, what they're trying to do is to discredit the prophetic voice. Yes, to discredit the prophetic voice, to cause persons to be distracted and not pay attention to what God is saying coming from this platform. That is the strategy. But those of you who are listening and are connected to the Lord, you will know the liars, who the liars are, and who the emissaries of Satan are. You will know. I don't need to tell you. Ask the Lord to open your eyes. And if you go back to that message yesterday, the Lord led me to reference John 10, verses 27 to 29. That's God. I didn't know what was happening in the paper. That's right.
John 10, verses 27 and 29. Let me go to that. John 10. Let me go to John 10. 27 and 29. 27 to 29. Then came the festival of dedication at Jerusalem. It was winter and Jesus was in the temple's courts, walking in Solomon's colonnade. The Jews who were there gathered around him, saying, "How long will you keep us in suspense? If you are the Messiah, tell us plainly." Jesus answered, "I did tell you, but you did not believe. The works I do in my Father's name testify about me, but you do not believe because you are not my sheep." Wow. "My sheep listens to my voice. I know them and they follow me." Amen. Wow. That's powerful. John 10. That's powerful. I gotta keep this one. Lord have mercy. That's powerful.
So if you are just waking up and hearing, if ever there was an evil report, that report that was carried about what happened in court on Monday represents an evil report. The devil is a liar. But we shall see what we shall see. That's all I will say.
So I don't know which report that is, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's the Observer. I don't know if it's the Star. I don't know if it's yo, let me go check, man. Let me go check. Let me go to Twitter. Let me go to Ocean Wide. Let me check them first. Alright, so sees St. Mary policeman please. Teen dies suspected drowning. Government spent 28 million on traffic ticket public days. 28 million, bro. Who get the contract for this? The people them have to get the tent them. Who make that money there? 28 million? JPS working to ensure we know. Bowling calls for a Marshall Plan to rescue hurricane hit small businesses. You know, I didn't get to read this. Now let's click the article. But let me approve. Opposition leader condemns viral police arrest of bus driver. Yeah, that was crazy. I'm not even get to touch that story tonight. So much is happening. I saw a video where the police they went to abuse the bus driver. I'm like, what the hell is this? And they say there's no human rights violation in Jamaica. Absolutely insane, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely insane. 52-year-old carpenter. PNP wants answers for aggressive apprehension of bus driver in Kingston. Minister, blah, blah, blah. Tensions grew among parliamentary staff. We went through that already. 13 hours ago. No, it was yesterday. Agriculture, no. Principal rejects claims that 2076, whatever. Alright, whatever. IC sightings. Stakeholders concerned over motorcycle death. Lieutenant Colonel Sheldon Bryan, the head traffic authority. Colonel Sheldon, okay. Don't know who is. Charles Jr. defends citizens' right to use court, blah, blah, blah. July 15th. Today's this. Oh, well, I guess I passed. Let me just scroll down a little bit. I don't see anything over here in regards to a court case. Alright. Now this is an investigation. Let me try to observe now. Try to observe. Should be yesterday. Yesterday would be the 16th. So that's the 15th. So we can start from the 15th, right? Second murder trial of convicted wife Analiva Collymore delayed to September. Man, listen, I don't want to be a part of none of that chaos. Lord, please. You already know. You already know, man. You already know, God. You know. Give me a good wife, Lord. And let me be a good husband. Lord, hello, man. Help me. What's make sure so we have to dip on the right foundation, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know. I'm trying to find the article. I don't know if it's a star. What then go say about the man of God court case? Alright, it's not in, I don't see it in the Observer, I don't see it there. Alright. I'm 2 hours on the dot over this side, and I'm gonna leave it there because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning and I got work to do. When I log off here, I got work to do. I got some videos to edit, I got some thumbnails to make, and yeah, appreciate y'all for pulling up. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. If you haven't hit the like button already, please go ahead and do it now. Do it now, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and hit the like button right now, man. Stop playing. Alright? The word is love. Shout out to everybody participating in the comment section. Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate that. And yeah, Bolo VNR. Shout out to Bolo VNR, all the troops that over there. If you haven't subscribed already so we can get the numbers up over there. Bolo VNR is my original channel on YouTube. That's the first one. That's like the first one. That was the one that I learned a lot. I made a lot of mistakes. Didn't understand that you can't really speak freely on the internet. I was too honest. Not vulgar enough, but too honest. And they don't like it. So, it is what it is. Alwyn, big up. Everybody, thank you for the love and support. But TikTok, I need to get some better likes on TikTok. I don't know what else to do. Like, I have the stick up on the screen, I'm telling you, please like, tap, and share. And I've been on here for about 2 hour plus. 1.5 likes. I swear, I'm coming off TikTok, bro. Y'all wanna narrate me, brother? Wanna narrate me? Wanna narrate me? I come off of TikTok. Yeah, you know make no sense. Me convinced. Me gonna leave TikTok alone. Me gonna log off. Me do a 1 and 2 video from time to time, just for the edits, for post on the other channel them. But yeah, I'll leave a 3-minute video and commentary on certain things that I think is important. But going live, yeah, TikTok a drain me energy. I swear, I don't know what's going on over there, but you know, just I concentrate on YouTube and build my YouTube. I do want 1 and 2 video on TikTok and ask you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is in the bio. But that's it. That's it. But come on, man. This is crazy. Can't believe 1.5 likes and so much people pass through the live. You have something called a live goal. I think I have a live goal on YouTube. But there's a live goal. Not even one out of the live goal. Nobody. Yeah, that's crazy, man. See y'all later, man. I'm out. Peace. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good night. Salute, y'all. I appreciate you guys. Bye. Have a good one.